You ever see a new product launch and just know it's going to be a massive hit? And then you see another one with all this amazing tech, and it just completely vanishes. Why does that happen? Well, today we're going to dig into a framework that completely flips product development on its head. It's all about building things that people don't just like, but things they genuinely, desperately need. So, let's kick things off with a number that should be a pretty big reality check for anyone building, well, anything. And that number is 7 out of 10. That right there is a failure rate for new products and services. And we're not just talking about some fancy software or the latest gadget. Nope. This applies to pretty much any new venture. It means that most of the time, the things we pour our hearts into just don't find a home. But here is the absolute key, and it comes from strategist Alex Osterwalder. He says it's not a failure of intelligence. We're not stupid. It's a failure of process. We're just starting in the wrong place. So today, we're going to find the right one. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get into why most products fail. Then, we'll introduce this game-changing idea called jobs to be done. After that, we get practical. We'll look at how to design your value proposition, fit it into a business model, and finally, how to craft a message that actually sticks. All right, let's dive into part 1, why most products fail. Let's really unpack what's going on behind that crazy failure rate. It really boils down to this fundamental mistake. We fall in love with our own idea first. We have this amazing solution, so we build it, and then we go looking for people to buy it. The successful way? You gotta flip that completely. You start with the customer's world. What are they trying to do? What are their biggest headaches? What would make their day? The solution? That comes way, way later. And that customer-first mindset leads us right into our second section, which is this really fundamental shift in thinking called jobs to be done. Now, you've probably heard this quote before, and whether Henry Ford actually said it or not, it captures this idea perfectly. See, your customers are absolute experts on their problems, on the jobs they're trying to get done, but they are not experts on the solution. So if you just go out and ask them what they want, you are asking the absolute wrong question. So let's reframe that question with this classic example from the brilliant Clayton Christensen. He didn't ask what people wanted in a milkshake. He asked something much weirder. What job are people hiring a milkshake to do? So when the company asked customers what they wanted, they got all the predictable answers, right? Make it more chocolatey, add more fruit, make it cheaper. So they did all that stuff, and the result? Absolutely nothing. It had zero impact on sales because they were improving things that had nothing to do with the real job. It wasn't until they actually went out and just observed their customers that they had their aha moment. People were hiring the milkshake for a very specific job, to be a tidy, engaging companion for a long, boring drive to work. Think about it. It takes a long time to drink, it keeps you occupied, you can do it with one hand, and it keeps you full to lunch. And this is why this concept is so incredibly powerful. The core job, in this case, listen to music, hasn't changed for decades. But the solutions, the products we hired to do that job, they've changed like crazy. From vinyl to cassettes to streaming. If you truly understand the job, you can innovate and adapt as the world and technology changes around you. Now, a job isn't just about a simple task, like getting from point A to point B. It goes deeper. There are social and emotional parts to it. How do I want other people to see me? How do I want to feel in this moment? I mean, you don't hire a Rolex just to tell the time, right? You hire it for the social job of communicating success and status. Okay, so this is all great insight, but how do we actually take this understanding of customer jobs and turn it into a real blueprint for a product? Well, that brings us to section 3, designing your value proposition. For this, we use a fantastic tool called the Value Proposition Canvas. The first half is what we call the customer profile. And right now, you're basically an anthropologist. You are just observing and mapping out your customer's world, their jobs, their pains, and the gains they're hoping for. The most important part? We are not talking about our product at all yet. This is all about them. Okay, now we get to build the other half of the canvas, the value map. This is where we finally get to design our solution. We list out our products and services, and then, and this is the magic part, we explicitly show how our features are pain relievers and gain creators that connect directly to the pains and gains we just uncovered in the customer profile. Let's look at the Tesla Model S. Back then, electric car buyers had huge pains, right? Battery anxiety, nowhere to charge, and let's be honest, a bit of a geeky image.
But they also had desired gains. They wanted high performance, they wanted status. So what did Tesla do? They designed specific pain relievers, a long-range battery, a supercharger network, and amazing gain creators like ludicrous mode and a design that could go head-to-head with BMW. They were solving the problems of a luxury car buyer, not just an eco-warrior.
But a great product by itself isn't enough. It has to exist inside a system that can actually survive and thrive. And that brings us to our fourth section, building your business model. This is the famous business model canvas. And look where our value proposition sits. Right there, smack in the heart of it. It's the bridge that connects who your customers are with how you make money. It literally dictates everything else, what you do, what you need, who you partner with. A strong value proposition is the engine of the entire business. And for our final section, you've done all this hard work, you have all this incredible insight. How in the world do you boil that down into a message that actually makes people stop and listen? A really powerful positioning statement has 4 key ingredients. First, be super clear on your target audience. Who exactly are you talking to? Second, define your market categories so people have a box to put you in. Third, nail your unique point of difference. Why you? And finally, you have to give them a reason to believe. What's your proof? So here's a simple little action plan you can use right now. Step 1, get absolutely crystal clear on the customer's problem, using all that great work you did on their jobs, pains, and gains. Step 2, list the specific, unique benefits your product offers to solve that problem. And step 3, state, loud and clear, how those benefits make you totally different from any other choice they have. And all of this leaves us with one last, really critical question to think about. You've probably spent countless hours, maybe even years, building your solution. But have you spent enough time figuring out the real job your customers are trying to get done? Because finding that job, well, that's the real secret to building something people truly want.